Welcome back to Stronger Than Yesterday. This podcast is about diet, training, recovery, and mindset. The motto is simple: to get stronger every single day than the day before, physically as well as mentally, so you can be there and have enough energy for you, for your family, and for your business. Today's episode is about how it all starts with belief. And I'm going to start with a little bit of a history lesson here. We're going back to the 1940s, I believe it was. Back then, people would already do sports. They would compete with each other, and there was running. Now, back then, the world record in running a mile was about 4 minutes and a little bit, all right? It was believed that it's not possible to run 1 mile in under 4 minutes. Now, 1 mile equals 1.6 kilometers, and people just believed that it was not possible. In fact, there were even doctors who said it cannot be done, and if something's gonna do that, it will be so unhealthy, they're gonna die from a heart attack or whatever. So there we had the world record, and nobody would run faster until there was Roger Bannister, was his name, who managed to run this 1 mile in under 4 minutes. So far so good, he didn't die, all right. Now, what's super interesting is what happened next. Because before that event, before he did that run, the 4 minutes for a mile mark, nobody would break that, right? After that, once he showed the world that it's actually possible to run 1 mile in under 4 minutes, there were several other athletes who would do exactly the same. In fact, within 1 year, there were like 37 athletes who would do it even faster. Within 3 years, there were over 300 people who would run this 1 mile in under 4 minutes. But before, nobody did that. Before, it was believed to not be possible. And this effect has now even a name. It's called the Bannister Effect, named after this guy who showed the world it's actually possible. And it's all about this barrier in your mind. When you think it cannot be done, you don't even try. And when you actually know it can be done, then you give more effort and you believe in yourself and you do whatever it takes to get there. Super, super interesting. In my life, I experienced the Bannister Effect as well when I started my online coaching business, to be honest, because I run Gym Performance, my coaching business, my hobby back then, since 2014, so 10 years. But back then, it was literally just a hobby. And I did it a little bit there, a little bit that, and I always thought, I love it, but it's just a hobby, and you cannot make a living from that. Right, online coaching was not even a thing back then, and I didn't want to be a personal trainer in the gym. So I said, okay, it's gonna be a hobby, and if I can make a little bit of money on the side, then I'm good. I didn't think it is even possible to make a living from that. I didn't think that anyone on this entire planet would make enough money so they can support their family with online coaching. I just didn't believe that, so I didn't even try. I would stick to my IT job and then online marketing job because, I need to make some money, right? I have a family now that I need to support, and for me, again, Gym Performance was just a side business until I found a business coach. And I looked into his clients and said, oh, there are people in the United States, there are people in Canada who also do online coaching, but wow, they're making so much more money. And wow, they make a living from that. And wow, like 5K a month, that's crazy. That's absolutely wild. Meanwhile, I was there with like, I don't know, 300 francs a month, and I was like, okay, I mean, it's cool, and like, I like it, I enjoy it, and I like working with people, so all good. But then there's this guy who makes so much more money. Wow. And it was then when I said, all right, I need to shift my mind. I see now it's possible. And when I know it's possible, then I'm gonna get there. Because what this guy can do, I can do as well. If there are like 100 other coaches who make a living from online coaching, I can do that too. And so I invested in that coach. He showed me everything. He showed me how to scale it up, what I need to do to really make this transition from my IT job to an online fitness coaching business that I can actually make a living from that. All right. Before that, I did a little bit of coaching, made some money, was okay, but I didn't even try to make more. I didn't even try to make a living from that because I didn't know it was possible. But then when other coaches opened my eyes and I saw, wow, it's actually possible, then I tried. And then I put in the work. And as you know, here I am, also a full-time online fitness coach. And it started with a belief that it can be done, a belief that I can do it and that one can make a living from online coaching. Bannister Effect, right? Now, what do I want to tell you with all of that and how does it, transfer to your situation? I can tell you from experience that many times clients or potential clients have the exact same problem. They think that they're in this place where, they're overweight and they want to lose 20 kilograms, but they find all these excuses, they're in this situation that nobody ever has overcome. It's the genetics, and they have 2 kids, and they have like 2 jobs or whatever, they don't get to sleep for more than 6 hours. So it's impossible in this situation to lose body fat. And by telling that, you obviously don't put in the work. By telling that, you don't go to the gym. By telling that, you eat whatever you want. Because in your mind, it's not possible, and you give yourself a reason for not trying, right? Now, what if there was someone out there who was in a similar position and he actually managed to do it? If someone also had kids, also has 2 jobs or 2 businesses, and also doesn't sleep a lot and also drinks alcohol, and this guy lost 20 kilograms, now for this other person, it's an eye-opener. Say, wow, this guy was in the exact same position, but he managed to lose 20 kilograms. I think I can do that too. And that happens so very often, right? I mean, if I show a client of mine who lost 10 kilograms, but let's say he had to track calories and he would have to work out like every single day for 2 hours and just like super strict, no life, then cool, whatever, it wouldn't resonate. But if this person who struggles with, little time, wants to drink alcohol, wants to eat out with their family, and now he sees someone who actually did exactly that and got the results, then he starts trying, right? And then he puts in the work. Now, I think it's almost safe to say that there's always someone in a similar situation like you. Sometimes it's difficult to find them, but it's kind of your responsibility to search and look for them, right? If you think that it's so freaking difficult to lose that weight or to build muscle or whatever, then look around and see it's actually working. There is proof that it works. There is someone who did it before. And yeah, sometimes it is difficult, and we tell ourselves all the time, I'm the only one with that problem. But I guarantee you that there is someone somewhere who has exactly the same problems. All right? And this is basically all I wanted to say. Like, if you ever think you're struggling and you find it so difficult and that it just doesn't work, it's not even possible, then just think of this Bannister Effect. Meaning that often it's just in your mind that you think it's not possible, and because of that, you don't even try. So it's your homework, it's your duty to search those who actually did it, to look around and see, is there proof that it can be done? And I guarantee you, unless you're Elon Musk and want to do something that nobody has ever done before, there will be someone who has done something similar, if not exactly the same thing. I even used that when I emigrated to Brazil. You know, I knew I'm going to be a father in Brazil, and I had a job back then in Switzerland, and I want to build a side hustle all at the same time, and it was difficult. And I think this exact situation I was in, I couldn't find anywhere, right? I couldn't find a single one who had exactly the same person. I was looking around and thought, okay, I need someone who is just like one step ahead of me. I need someone who has done the same so he can teach me everything. How do I do that? How do I move from one continent to the other? How do I now make this transition to online coach? And just I was basically trying to look for future myself. Didn't exist. However, I could look up coaches. Okay, how do I build an online fitness business? I could ask someone who also traveled from Switzerland to Brazil, who lived there now. Okay, how does it work with visa and how does it work with insurance and blah, blah, blah. It was my responsibility, and this is what I did. So even if there is not someone who's exactly the same, there are always people who did similar things, who are one step ahead, who experience the same, and they can help you. So once again, if you feel stuck, if you feel like everything is so difficult and that you think you cannot lose the fat or build muscle or get in top shape, again, remember the Bannister Effect, remember what I told you here. It's real, and so it's on you to do your homework. It's on you to reach out to people, to see what they did, how it was done, whether it was done. And with that, you shift your mind and you see it's actually possible. It all starts with a belief. All right. That was it for today. Thanks for tuning in, and see you in the next one.